featuring WHUC TV7. Now, live from the news station with coverage you can count on, this is Hines' very own WHUC News live at 6.
You no longer have to wear masks at the airport. Find out more soon.
Pearl Street AME Church is using income tax credit to create something useful for senior citizens. More information coming up. And
the story here is just a phenomenal, fantastic story.
Fair Street has a new investor looking to preserve its historic value, and that investor just so happens to be a former WLBT anchor.
Coverage you can count on with Devin Anderson, Harmony Porter, sports with Tracy Gray, and your WHUC Weather Authority with Ezekiel Harris.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us on WHUC News 7 Newscast at 6 p.m. I am Harmony Porter.
And I'm Devin Anderson. If you're planning on taking a flight anytime soon, the atmosphere at your airport might be different, including the Jackson International Airport. The Biden administration issued a mask mandate that required people to wear masks on any source of mass transportation. This mandate was due to expire until the CDC decided to extend it due to the concern over a potential rise in COVID cases. Recently, U.S. District Judge Catherine Kimball Mizell ruled this unlawful and overturned this 14-month-old directive by the White House. All major airlines dropped their restrictions effective immediately, now making a mask optional.
Pearl Street AME Church is working to turn an abandoned hotel property into affordable housing for senior citizens. The church is teaming with Jackson Hines Comprehensive Health to put a clinic on site as well. The project is funded by low-income tax credits, which will allow affordable housing for senior citizens.
Crime, homelessness, and abandonment are all words that plague a well-known historic place in Jackson, Fair Street. WHUC News 7 reporter Tracy Gray tells you about a well-known investor who plans to continue this legacy.
The city of Jackson is known for black-owned businesses, especially down on Fair Street. From restaurants to motels, business on Fair Street was flowing very well. Over the years, most of the businesses have been abandoned, and the community that was once a thriving business community for African Americans slowly declined. Some of these buildings on Fair Street have been closed and abandoned for decades, but if you drive into the historic district today, you will see construction and restoration taking place in many of the facilities. One of the persons that is helping breathe new life into this community is retired journalist Kimberly Noel Sweet. Ms. Sweet explains to me the goal of purchasing these properties.
On Fair Street, there is a great appreciation for the history here. And Fair Street has been a community that has supported black neighborhoods, black students, black business owners, black churches for decades. And what we want to do is we want to see the protection and the preservation and the dissemination, more knowledge about that history.
She also explains the history behind these properties.
There were several dress shops here, other businesses. There were also residences here. There were rooms for rent upstairs. Some of the tenants, their more famous tenants, Elmore James, who's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and Sonny Boy Williamson, who's in the Blues Hall of Fame, stayed here. So this location really nurtured economic, residential, commercial, and of course our political and civil rights. So it's an important part of our history. I'm honored and proud to be a part of preserving it.
I'm currently here on Fair Street, standing right in front of Big Apple Lens, where they're preserving the African American heritage one building at a time. Tracy Gray, reporting for WHUC News 7.
The Utica Institute is partnering with the Smithsonian Museum. Utica was chosen to be a part of this traveling exhibit. The exhibit is called Voices and Votes and has been made possible in Utica by the Mississippi Humanities Council. The exhibit here in Utica is called Utica Votes. Also a part of this project, Hines Utica's very own fashion and clothing department, and yours truly, the WHUC News 7 crew. It will open on May 17th.
Gas prices are slowly coming down. In the beginning of the month, gas prices were at a high of $3.99 a gallon in the state of Mississippi for regular gas. Prices have decreased by 20 cents a gallon at the moment, but citizens are left to wonder if gas prices will continue to decrease or increase.
Well, while gas prices are decreasing, the cost of food is steadily increasing. Fast food restaurants, grocery stores, and local markets are seeing increase in food prices, including fan favorites from Wendy's and Chili's. The popular 4 for $4 from Wendy's has taken every burger choice except for Junior Cheeseburger. Chili's has raised their price on the 3 for $10 to what is now 3 for $10.99. And the meat prices are doubling. While I'm barely surviving these high gas prices, I don't know how I'm going to survive these food prices. They're pushing me over the edge.
Yeah, they are kind of rough, but I mean, I would love to see some relief coming soon. I would really like to have more money in my pocket. It's kind of a little too much for me right now, but I'm going to take it over to the rural city of Canton. Citizens are in an uproar due to the increase of road damages. More cracks and potholes in the road are slowly raising the potential damage vehicles can receive on the road. Citizens are looking toward the district supervisor to fix the roads. As of right now, the situation is up in the air as there's no set for repair.
The Hines Utica campus has recently seen many changes at the front of the campus. Blake Watts, superintendent for Red Oaks Construction Company, was on the Utica campus to replace the fire hydrant.
We did a water project here for a highway relocate the water main, and they wanted to change out the fire hydrants too.
They have previously finished up a water project for the highway relocation to main water sources. The company wants to upgrade the fire hydrants. Most fire hydrants are typically replaced every 50 years.
Let's take a look at the traffic as we see if everything is flowing on the roadways this evening. Here's a live look at the MDOT traffic count. As you can see over at Lakeland Road, traffic is clear and moving smoothly. Over in Vicksburg on I-20 west of Clay Street, traffic is moving pretty slow.
On I-20 East, traffic is pretty heavy and over on the stack towards Pearl, so you might want to take a quick detour if you're heading that way. We are now going to take it over to Ezekiel Harris, the weatherman, to talk about the weather.
Well, Harmony, sunshine will continue to be in high supply, though a few clouds will mix in from time to time. After a cool start, we'll get a seasonable finish with highs rebounding into the upper 70s and lower 80s. Skies will remain mostly to partly clear as lows fall back into the 50s by early Friday. That's all I have for the first look of weather. Back to you, Devin and Harmony.
All right, well, when we come back, there's a special guest over at the famous Mississippi Writers' Home. We'll bring you that after these messages.
When stories hit home, you can trust the WHUC News 17 to give you the information you need.
Here's photos, Thursday, August 19th.
If it's Hines Community College news around the campuses.
And this is only the beginning. We have a full week of activity.
Weather.
And now in Crystal Springs, as you can see down.
Sports.
Hines is ready to get back to usual by starting the semester off with sports.
And more. We are WHUC News 7, Hines' only college news station that cares.
Welcome back. The prestigious home of the Pulitzer Prize winner Eudora Welty had visitors from all over come to her home.
One special visitor, Matt Sawyer from North Carolina, came down to Jackson for a particular reason. Sawyer is a founder of Story Made, a podcast that travels all over the United States, interviewing people that explore historical sites, such as the Welty home.
Well, when I thought about starting this project, there were a couple of places that came to mind. One was Appalachia, where I live, and the second one was Mississippi. I love Mississippi history and literature, and when I thought about a place that I could authentically come in and show that interest and that curiosity and make connections, Mississippi had to be at the top of the list, and I've been fortunate to have lots of places that have been on board and lots of people that wanted to do it, so it's really fun to be here.
Story Made gathers information on what a difference a story can make.
The Mississippi Department of Archives and History is allowing the public to have access to the additional papers from the late author. The release came on her 113th anniversary of Welty's birth.
For National Hairstylist Appreciation Day, the Hines Utica Cosmetology Department traveled to the Capitol Building downtown for a Barber and Hairstylist Appreciation Health Fair. At this event, cosmetology instructor Dr. LaShonda Brown received an award honoring what she has done in the industry. We caught up with Dr. Brown, and she explained how she felt about being honored.
I did not know that I was being honored in this manner, but it is a great honor. I really believe that it is my ultimate purpose that God created me to educate, empower, and encourage excellence. So I see myself doing that for the rest of my life on every platform that He puts me on.
Also in the cosmetology department, good things continue to happen.
Heroes don't always wear capes, sometimes they do hair. Miss Regina Adams, cosmetology teacher on the Hines Utica campus, received Hines Hero, The title is to honor those who represent the college well. Heroes selected receive a lapel pin, a token of appreciation, and 1 free day off work. We spoke to Ms. Adams about her recent honor, and she had this to say.
I'm excited about this. I'm humbled about this. I didn't know this was going to happen.
Congratulations to Ms. Adams and Dr. LaShonda Brown.
On the Utica campus, the Bobby G. Cooper Fine Arts Center building is receiving updated video systems in the auditorium. They are replacing the old system with a new system that will give a clear view for PowerPoints that are being presented during programs.
Over on the front lawn of the Utica Institute, the Clothing and Fashion Design Department hosted their themed spring fashion show, Protest in Fashion.
Over at the Hines-Rankin campus, a cybersecurity showcase was held with students competing with various presentations explaining cybersecurity. WHUC 7 reporter T.R. Jackson was on the scene.
It is always important to protect yourself online. Hines Community College Rankin campus held its annual cybersecurity showcase where students, employees, and even those in the community can come and learn about cybersecurity. Dean of Career and Technical Programs, Jonathan Towns, gives us insight on the purpose of this event.
This event was to bring awareness to cybersecurity, the risks that's associated with it, and give students the opportunity to kind of showcase some of the skills that are valuable in this particular line of work.
Speaking of students showcasing their skills, I spoke to cybersecurity student Michael Spots as he explained his presentation and what it is used for.
So essentially what I'm doing here is every time someone connects to a wireless access point, it does what's called a handshake, where it sends information, the access point says, okay, you can connect. So essentially what I was doing was I was capturing the handshake, whether I capture it when they're trying to connect or I force them off. I'm still capturing it. So essentially it's able to crack a password like password in less than a second because it's on what's called a word list. What happens is when hackers basically they find a bunch of passwords that's commonly used and they put it in the word list, and so it'll go down the word list and just try passwords.
Something as simple as changing your password can save your information. Tierra Jackson, report for WHUC News 7.
And the walls are being painted in downtown Jackson. Well, not all the walls, but some. A brand new mural is being painted across the street from the Civil Rights Museum in preparation for an upcoming art festival. Eli Childers, visual artist, gives us more information.
All in culmination of an artistic festival that's going to be happening here May the 7th, where it's going to be a bunch of vendors, 50 plus artists, food trucks, and it's really just a celebration of us as people and the future, and specifically with this mural, hope and joy, because I think that that's so necessary in the world.
When we come back, we will have more updates on the weather forecast with Ezekiel Harris right after these messages.
Are you interested in becoming a fashion designer, buyer, or stylist? Or maybe open your own boutique? Hines Community College Utica campus has the perfect program for you. Join the Clothing and Fashion Design program today. In this program, we train students how to become excellent fashion designers by teaching you the skill set that is necessary to become a wonderful fashion designer. In our classroom, we are equipped with industrial sewing machines and all tools needed to obtain the skills necessary for your career. Join fashion today at
We track storms with accurate forecasts. This is your WHUC Weather Authority.
Currently, we are looking at the sky cam, and the skies are clear and there is no rain in sight. As we go to the radar, you can see that our patterns are setting up for continued warmth, early summer mugginess, and occasional opportunities for showers and storms to crop at random. Expect highs to run generally in the 80s or possibly approaching 90s by Saturday, amid mix of sun and clouds. A few shower chances and storm chances may mix in through the weekend, but more hours than that will be dry. With no major features to move through the area, we'll stay stuck in this pattern through at least mid next week. Okay, so let's go into the 5-day forecast. Today is going to be partly cloudy with a high of 82 degrees and a low of 54 degrees. On tomorrow, it was going to be partly cloudy again, but with a high of 86 degrees and a low of 64 degrees. On Saturday, it will be partly cloudy with a high of 86 degrees and a low of 66 degrees. On Sunday, showers will occur with a high of 84 degrees and a low of 66 degrees. And to end the 5-day forecast on Monday, it will be cloudy with a high of 84 degrees and a low of 64 degrees. Now we're going to go to weatherman Evan, who is out on the Utica football field. WHUC News 7 weatherman Evan gives coverage from the Bulldog Extravaganza. How's the weather over there?
That's right, Ezekiel. I'm here at the Bulldog Extravaganza, where the weather is perfect. It's extremely perfect. I'm so glad I'm the weatherman on this assignment. It is a cool 79 degrees right now. The temperatures will top out by this afternoon to about 80 degrees with a high probably around 81. So it is great to be here on the campus and come out and enjoy the free food from the food trucks, as well as take in some of the fun activities that they have lined up for us today. So you're not out here on the football field for Bulldog Extravaganza, you're missing out so soon. You should head out right now, and you guys should do the same. When you wrap up the newscast, so that you can come join here for this extravaganza. Let's do it.
Thank you so much, Evan. It seems like a lot of fun. I might need to come over there when I'm through. Back to you, Devin and Harmony.
Thank you, Ezekiel. Sounds like good weather for a picnic this weekend.
Yeah, I agree. Now that I think about it, I actually never been on a picnic in a recent amount of time. What's something you usually eat?
Like mini sandwiches, some fruit, maybe some cookies.
Of course, cookies with you. Well, me personally, I just enjoy probably just a fruit salad, maybe a couple of turkey sandwiches.
Sounds good.
Now that we're on the topic of food, we're going to go over to Tawana Johnson, who's at an event where food is being discussed. Tawana Johnson?
That's right, Harmony and Devin. I am here in downtown Jackson at the two museums of Mississippi, where Nick Wallace is hosting a happy hour remix. History in the making at the two museums of Mississippi with Chef Nick Wallace. This happy hour remix begins outside with local food truck vendors. People had a variety of choices to choose from. An Italian icy, to Mexican food and vegan food. Chef Nick led a discussion about agricultural and cultivating plants. He also encouraged others to start shopping at their local farmers markets. LeBron Alexander, executive chef at Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Mississippi, talks about heart-healthy living and his love for food.
In the farmers market rate, where we go in and buy produce, and Blue Cross and Blue Shield, we get the opportunity to sell that produce to our on-campus employees, and they get the opportunity to take that product home and prepare.
Cindy Ayers Elliott, owner of Footprint Farms, spoke about her relationship with farming.
I've been farming for 10 years at Footprint Farms. We are a 68-acre farm in the city of Jackson, a full ranch and farm. We grow a lot of veggies throughout this area. We also have cows and goats, but we do agritourism.
Mississippi-owned Chef Nick explained why he decided to put on this remixer.
It's all about what food means to you. It doesn't need to be about anything else, because that tip-up is going to just start a conversation, and that's what you want to hear. It should be stories about food.
Taking a little seed from farm to table. Tawana Johnson reporting for WHUC News 7.
Thank you, Tawana. Later on in this newscast, Tawana Johnson will sit down and have an exclusive interview with a renowned celebrity chef, Nick Wallace, where she will take us inside Nissan Cafe.
This is happening at the two Mississippi museums right here on today's Real Talk segment.
This past weekend, our Utica Connections group took a trip to Tougaloo College in efforts to find the best possible future for college students here.
Hines Utica SGA hosted two parties for students as the semester wraps up. Do It With Your Boots On, where students dressed up as cowboys and cowgirls, and the first initial party, where students dressed up as something that starts with their first initial.
When we come back, the Magnolia Estate received many musical guests showcasing their talents.
And also, celebrity chef Nick Wallace is cooking up a storm in today's Real Talk. You'll find out what's on the menu and much more. And we'll come back from these messages.
Ready to join the Welding and Cutting Technology Department at Hines Community College, Utica campus? The Hines Utica Welding Program trains students to be proficient in a number of welding techniques. In the welding program at Hines Utica, students prepare for entry-level employment in the field of welding and cutting. The program highlights field and shop safety, MIG welding, TIG welding, flux cord welding, and shear metal welding skills, basic blueprint reading, and more. The welder program also provides students with the time and space necessary to develop their skills in order to gain entry-level employment in the welding field. So don't delay. Come to Heinz Utica today and begin your career in welding.
And now, live from the studios of WHUC, this is Real Talk, where we get you something to talk about.
Welcome back. For those of you who are just joining us for this edition of Real Talk, we are talking with celebrity chef Nick Wallace. We are at the Nissan Cafe, and he is going to show us a little something on how we can cook this amazing meal at home.
Thank you. Thank you for coming in the kitchen. You'll get a chance to see a lot of the strength really that pushes me forward, and that's the team.
Right.
Because you know I can't do everything. We have a wonderful, wonderful team atmosphere here. But anyway, we'll get to that. So I wanted to start off by showing you, and hopefully you won't mind eating this. This is, as much as I love Mississippi, I think Mississippi needs their own food idea versus just soul food. And I always think we deserve as much as we can possibly do, but we just have to start it though. So this is a Mississippi gumbo. So I wanted, gumbo is traditionally not from Mississippi, it's from other areas, but we can still cook gumbo and make it our own. So these are local collard green stems, speckled butter beans, black eyed peas, turkey, and okra. And then we finish it off with a little Delta brown rice. And we make it the same way as any other traditional gumbo, but now this has the identity of Mississippi gumbo. So while I'm making another dish, I'm going to let you start with this.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So what I wanted to make is a brisket wrap. This is one of our favorites. This brisket wrap is potato flatbread. It has a lot of smoked brisket. It has a little spice element to it, and we candy down some jalapenos, which is like pickled in a way, but we cook them down with a lot of the temperature of like 160 degrees.
Okay.
And then we blast it down in some ice just so we can shock it down, and we let that sit in that water as long as we possibly can. So it still has a little bit of the heat, but it also has a lot of the sweetness because we load in a lot of Mississippi honey in there at the end. So anyway, I'm very excited for you to try this because this is one of my favorites.
I'm excited too.
So we start off with just toasting the potato flatbread, and then we have a fig and tomato sauce that we mix. And this right here just gives you a lot of smoothness. It has a little sweetness to it. It has a lot of local figs, which is great. And we just kind of cook it almost down like a regular any kind of tomato sauce.
Okay.
But we puree a lot of figs in it. So we have the fig and tomato sauce. And now, this is one of the key 12-13 hours. And we just finish them in this turbo oven as we get ordered.
Okay.
And the next is a goat cheese crema. And this right here is going to give you all that creaminess that you love what mayo do to a sandwich.
Okay.
Yeah. Next step, we're going to add some of those candied jalapenos. We keep the seeds in.
Spicy.
Yeah, it just gives you, it wakes it up. It gives you a lot of the sweetness. I can't wait for you to tell me.
I love this gumbo. This is so good. Yes, and the collard greens are awesome. I love the rice. Everything is wonderful.
Awesome.
I love it.
Thank you. We finished this up with some micro cilantro, which just gives us all those herb notes that we want.
It looks so pretty. I don't even want to eat it. It looks so pretty.
You can add in spinach and that kind of thing. So what we do is we're going to use the butcher paper. So I'm just going to kind of get messy just a little bit. So we fold it about halfway. And we just kind of tuck and roll at that point. So this is like going to be one of your best Subway sandwiches you ever had in your life. So I'm going to ask one of my companions over there, which is Roy and the Kyrian. And while I'm cutting this up, I'm just going to go ahead and bring them on the camera. So the Kyrian Harris is about to graduate from Heinz Community College, which is, it's a huge success. May 11th, we're going to throw a great celebration culinary party for him. But no, I want y'all to say a few words. Y'all definitely have had the food here. You make the wrap, the gumbo, and everything else all the time. So kick us off, Roy.
Yeah. So my first time eating the brisket wrap. I definitely tasted that smoky flavor in the brisket. And one component I love, because I love sweets, that fig tomato sauce, it really gives it a perfect balance, the salty and sweet. So yeah, I think once you try it, you'll love it.
The brisket wrap is definitely one of my favorites. It gives you that home feel, that home taste, but just the presentation of it is definitely like A1.
So what you see, on there, you see that smoke ring on it. You see the jalapenos, you see the creaminess.
Yes.
I can't wait for you to try it. We're gonna watch you eat.
Okay. Super, super. Super, super good. This is the best. Way better than Subway.
Yeah,
10 times better than Subway. He mentioned Subway, so.
I know. I should have never did that. But we're looking for partnerships.
This is awesome. I love it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For doing this with us, doing this simple meal that many can enjoy. You cook this at your home, simple. He gave us some simple meals, farm to table, with Chef Nick Wallace. Thank you for joining us on this edition of Real Talk. I'm your host, Tawana Johnson. Remember to subscribe and follow us on YouTube and Facebook, WHUC News Team. Again, I'm your host, Tawana Johnson. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Tawana. That Real Talk really made me hungry. As summertime is fast approaching, the weather is getting warmer, and there are many musical events coming to the Magnolia State.
Mississippi singer Briar Blakely was at the Eco Shed performing some of her songs from her album Retro Future. She is promoting her new music from her unreleased album coming out in June.
We now go over to Crystal Springs, known as the tomato capital of the world, where WHUC News 7 reporter Jacob Isrobi is giving us a sweet taste of the blues.
That's right, Devin and Harmony. I'm here in downtown Crystal Springs where they are having Taste of the Blues for the community to come out and enjoy.
The city of Crystal Springs held its annual Taste of the Blues event for the community to come out and enjoy the different vendors and enjoy some live music. Deputy Sergeant Regina Newell gives us more information on this event. Simply Good Tea founder Christina Berry and Gallman Sauce Company founder Jeb Gallman tell us about their booths.
Simply is a Mississippi company that offers loose leaf teas with herbs in them. So I have 5 flavors, and all of them are themed after something related to the South.
Man, I make seasonings and hot sauce. Got several different kinds. I got some vinegar sauce. I got some hot sauce ranging from mild to extremely hot. My seasonings, some of them are a little warm. They come down to really mild though. All purpose, good on everything.
Crystal Springs residents Madison Slay and Darius Perkins share their favorite part about this event.
Probably the music and all the food, like the fair food.
Real family oriented, it's smooth, it's laid back. Everyone having a good time.
People are really having a great time. Thank you, reporter from WHUC News 7. Back to you, Devin.
Thank you, Jacobus. A local country singer makes his way back from Nashville to his hometown performing in Raymond, Mississippi. Country singer Walker Wilson is debuting his new single, Dear Raymond, a single he wrote for his love of his hometown.
Decades of singing songs of praises have all led up to a celebration. The Jackson family is celebrating their 40th year anniversary. Guest performances from the Utica Southern Aries, the sensational Chosen Voices, and more. St. John M.B. Church of Utica invites those in the community to attend.
The Miss Mississippi Corporation just crowned their new Miss Mississippi Outstanding Teen. Cameron Davis from Meridian, Mississippi won the competition, and she'll be representing the state in the Miss Outstanding Teen competition in July.
With that being said, it is the time of the year again where many colleges and universities are voting for their new student government and royal court. Hines Community College Utica campus recently elected their new SGA president and vice president, Mr. and Mrs. Sophomore and Mr. and Mrs. Utica. We would like to congratulate all of the newly elected nominees, and we would like to send a special shout out to one of our very own WHUC News 7 weatherman Ezekiel Harris. Congratulations, Mr. Harris.
Graduation is fast approaching. Hines Raymond campus will host their commencement ceremony on Thursday, May 12th, starting at 9 a.m. And the Utica campus will host their commencement ceremony on Saturday, May 14th, starting at 9 a.m. as well.
Congratulations to all the Hines graduates who are celebrating this milestone. When we come back, our sports reporter Tracy Gray will be giving us an update on what is happening in the sports world. Stay tuned.
For more than 4 decades, you have trusted us to be the #1 college news source that cares for you from the beginning to the end. So now, we're proud to say that we've won the Mississippi Association of Broadcasters Awards. And we will continue to try to keep you knowledgeable and focused on stories that are happening around you. We are Hines' very own WHUC News 7, named #1 by the Mississippi Association of Broadcasters.
Welcome back, everyone. Everything is looking pretty decent here for our sports teams here at Hines. Our girls soccer team has played their last 7-on-7 soccer game against East Central. The game started off 1-1 until East Central scored the next 2 goals, making the score 3-1. Our Lady Eagles didn't fall behind and scored to make the score 2 goals Hines and 3 goals East Central at halftime. Unfortunately, East Central had more momentum going into the second half and eventually pulled away and won the game 5-2. The baseball team here at Hines also took on East Community College as a double hitter. Hines started off strong with a 3-1 lead in the first inning. The Warriors scored the 2 runs in the 4th inning, tying the game. Unfortunately, East Central ended up taking over the last 3 innings and winning the game 8-3. Hines enjoyed sweet revenge as they skunked East Central 6-0 in the second game. A Pee Wee basketball game is being held in Hazelhurst at the high school gymnasium. We take it over to Lenarius May to see what's going on.
Well, Tracy, some of these Pee Wee basketball players are like some future NBA stars.
Over here in Hazelhurst High School Gymnasium, up-and-coming ball players competed in a Pee Wee basketball tournament. The teams went well by well-known professional team as the Suns hosted the Celtics. These kids show off their wonderful talent in front of their parents and got the crowd excited as the Suns defeated the Celtics by the score of 10-6. I spoke with one player on the Celtics team, and he told me what he could have done to win the game.
I think I could have did better.
Well, Tracy, some of these Pee Wee basketball players did an amazing job on the court. Lenarius May reported for WHUC News 7. Tracy, back to you.
Also here at Hines campus this week, Student Appreciation Week, and some students have the opportunity to unwind and have a little wet sporting fun. Many of our childhood events have made their way to the U. Wet and Wild was held today on the football field for students to have fun and finally have downtime as the school year is coming to a close. Students got a chance to dance, play kickball, and even take a ride on the water slide. As the event went on, I talked to Kiara Clemens and Bobby Thompson Jr. to see what was their favorite part about this event.
The water slide and seeing everybody have fun together. Actually, being out here playing, so this part,
The water, everybody out here, like everybody is out, like nobody running from it. Tiana Howard lets me know how she felt personally about this event.
This event is so fun. It was a job well done. It's great because the year's about to end, so we went out with a bang.
That wraps it up with sports. Back to you, Harmony and Devin.
Thank you, Tracy. Ezekiel, is there any more last looks of weather?
This is the last look at weather. Be prepared to have a beautiful rest of the week. Sunday showers may vary, but other than that, a lot of sunshine. Hey, Devin and Harmony, I heard you talking about a picnic earlier. Can I come?
Only if you drive. I spend up most of my gas on the way to school every day.
Well, I guess we won't be going.
Look, I feel bad for you, so I'll actually pick you up, but you have to pay for it. Thank you for joining us on this evening for this WHUC News 7 newscast at 6 p.m. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.